Our Skoda Superb Estate crew car has been with us for 3 months now and is proving to be everything we hoped. Refined, comfortable and absolutely bloody massive. In the last 3 months it's been in a quarry, been to Silverstone, towed a petrol tanker, met a Renault Wind and, quite surprisingly, even met a car that was actually bigger than it. In the first video we made about our Superb, we were so impressed with it that we wondered if it could rival more expensive cars like the Mercedes E-Class Estate. Well, here is a Mercedes E-Class Estate and we're going to see how they both compare. The E-Class is the best posh estate on sale and costs from 31 grand. That's £5,000 more than the most expensive Superb. So financially it is in a different league. But we've got a hunch the Skoda will give the Merc a run for its money anyway. We'll start with space. The Skoda has the second biggest boot of any estate car on sale. 633 litres with the seats up, 1865 with them down. The only trouble is, the Mercedes is the car that beats it. 695 litres with the seats up, 1950 with them down. The Mercedes wins by the narrowest of margins. Let's see if it can keep its lead on the road. This E-Class comes with a 2.2 litre turbo diesel engine with about 170 horsepower and it's got an automatic gearbox, so it's a very similar setup to our Skoda Superb. First impressions are that it's totally untroubled by anything. The engine, even though it's the smallest one available in an E-Class, never feels stressed, and the same is true of the chassis. Nothing stresses it out. It's incredibly compliant, very quiet, very relaxing all the time. But also, when you start threading it through the twisties, it doesn't get fussed by that either. It's still incredibly agile. No one trait stands out about the way the Merc drives. It just feels like a lot of men have taken a lot of time to find the perfect balance. Considering this is the least powerful diesel version available, it's incredibly impressive. So, how does the Skoda compare? Usually when I get in the Skoda after having driven pretty much anything else, it feels like the absolute pinnacle of luxury. But having just stepped in from the Mercedes, it's not quite perfect. Its ride is basically as compliant as the Mercedes and it is ultimately as comfortable, but there have been some sacrifices to get it that way. The body control isn't quite as good as it is in the Merc, so it feels a little bit more cumbersome, and the suspension is just a little noisier in the way it deals with any potholes. It clunks more than the Merc. Saying that, this Skoda does come with a double clutch gearbox where the Mercedes just has a traditional automatic gearbox, and it does change gear faster. To be honest, the slurry nature of the Merc's gearbox actually suits the character of the car absolutely fine, but it's nice to know our Skoda's got one up on it in that sense. But unfortunately, this can't quite prevent the Skoda from falling short of the Merc's more sophisticated road manners. Finally, we'll compare interiors. Now, I have found some Mercedes interiors in the past to be a little bit glitzy and a little bit naff, but this one is perfectly judged. There's enough theatrical details like this quilted leather and exposed stitching and chrome flourishes to make it feel special, but overall, it just reeks of quality. The touch points, the materials, even the smell of it is beautiful. The Skoda doesn't quite have the sense of glamour you get in the Mercedes. The touch points, the materials, they're all up to scratch. They're pretty brilliant, to be honest with you, but it's just lacking that last little bit of design flair that makes it feel special. It is worth noting, however, that the Skoda's touchscreen system here is more intuitive than the Merc's, which you have to use with its twiddly knob. In the Merc, you can choose from luxury and safety options like cooled seats, active cruise control, blind spot monitoring and lane assist, but they take the price even higher. While this car costs £33,000 as standard, with all the options included, it costs 50 grand. So, which one of these is the most luxurious car? Well, it's the Mercedes. But instead of these two feeling like they're in two completely different leagues, they feel like two close rivals where one has just pipped the other to victory. Our Superb can hold its own against the best posh estate on sale, and it should be proud.